Here we go.
Hello. Here we go.
We're back in your lives.
We're back in your lives. Welcome to stayfhomekins. I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
I'm Janie Haddad Tompkins.
I'm a comedian.
I'm an actress.
We are a married couple living in Los Angeles.
This is our date night. We do it every week.
We do it every week. We do it every week. Yeah, yeah.
We do it every week.
Who is it?
Don't tell me. Don't tell
Who
me.
am I Weird Alling?
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
You know them.
Yeah, I know. It's Violent Femmes.
Yes, you did it.
Honey,
you're crushing it.
I know I'm young.
You're
very, very young.
You're very young. This is more music from my generation.
Right? I don't know what was going on with me on a subconscious level, but I accidentally poured myself a big old weekend water.
It's a huge martini.
What happened to me?
I mean, that's what size martinis are. I mean, you know what I mean?
Honey, I know exactly what you mean.
That's how the glass is shaped.
I know exactly what you mean.
Because it's not like
I know exactly.
It's not like a wine glass.
It's not like you're supposed to leave half of it. This is not a glass half empty situation. This is a glass fully full situation.
Glass fully full? GFF?
Yes. The windows are open. I feel like I just heard the neighbors making some racket. It's probably
there's
all
kinds of noises going on around here.
Oh, boy.
What are you going to do?
This is what we do. So you get to sit in. We just talk. We started it,
Yeah, we spend the first couple minutes explaining the podcast.
We started it last year during the lockdown, and we're still doing it, even though we're not on the lockdown.
That's right. We're figuring out what our next move is going to be.
Our new angle. Well,
our new angle. What's our new con? The new grift.
By the way.
BG Dubs.
By the way, I was on Twitter because I'm very online.
Twitter is a social networking platform.
It's called Twitter because people are tweeting like birds all at once, like chirping, like chirp, chirp, chirp.
And it makes just as much sense.
They're chirping hate. They're chirping hate at each other. Just chirp, 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 chirp. Hate. And it's fun. And I was just on there like before dinner, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?"
You came to dinner from Twitter.
I did. I was like, "What?" And then I looked on, and I saw this thing, which I guess I didn't know about this, where you can add this button called a tip jar. To your profile.
I heard about this.
And if your tweets go viral, someone might tip you for making a good tweet.
Oh,
and I was like, what is this business? What is this?
I mean,
I'm being loud on the mic.
It's also weird. It's like, look, if that helps somebody out, you know what I mean? Then good. Like somebody who's trying to either.
I guess.
I don't know. Who do you want to help it out? Like if there's an independent journalist, like. I don't know.
Well, maybe that, but then I might subscribe to their Substack, and I already paid $5. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was weird, and I was like, well, if Jeff Bezos followed me, then I might put my tip jar up. Because if he liked one of my, you go girl tweets or something, he might be like, here's like $20 million.
If you don't follow Janie, she periodically tweets out, "You go girl." It's not the same day every week, but it is regular.
No, because I was I was like, this is weird to me because also, I want people to be helped out, but does everything have to be monetized? Does everything?
Well, that's the bummer of America.
I'm still pissed off that shit my dad says got a whole series.
Talk about a tip jar.
Where's my Geico caveman pilot order? Because they gave a whole series to the guy. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
caveman?
that. But what do you mean? Where's my Geico?
It's sort of like a zeitgeisty. Like they give these series
in my
orders.
day, it used to be you had to do a series of commercials before you got a show.
In my day,
now you just tweet.
I'm just saying, they give these zeitgeisty series orders.
What's funny is it doesn't happen as often as you would think it would.
The zeitgeisty thing?
Yes, because there's a lot of things that don't make it, that they try to do they try to do a show with whatever
Yes.
thing that comes
There
up,
was one,
and it doesn't make it.
What was that one with, was Karen Gillan in something that was like...
Oh, it was about
Twitter or something. It was
Selfie?
Like
was it called Selfie?
Yeah. That felt zeitgeisty.
Yeah. Like, what if Instagram was a show?
Guess what I don't turn on the TV to watch? Instagram.
That's right, girlfriend.
I go to Instagram for my Instagram. I go to television for my television.
Yeah. And never the twain shall meet.
Never the twain shall meet.
I don't want to see influencers. I think they try, every once in a while, they try to make a show with a YouTube person.
Oh, yeah.
Without,
that girl got like an overall deal, that YouTube girl. She had a late night show, then they canceled
Lily
it.
Singh?
Yeah, I never watched her, but
I never saw it,
I'm sure she's funny. I don't mind the influencer stuff where people are like actually comedically talented.
Yes, if they are actually comedically talented, but some people don't have the depth to do it.
No,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true.
And they are different mediums. They're totally different mediums. Here's what we miss out on a lot not having kids is, well, I should say what we're not aware of not having kids.
Right.
Because what I'm about to say, I don't think we're missing out on this. Is all the YouTube people
dunking on people with kids.
No, I'm not. Look,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
They are aware of, kids now are aware of all these YouTube, TikTok,
I know, because
all these
they
people,
grow up.
they're stars.
Yeah.
Like hugely successful on those platforms.
No, I don't miss out because I ask my friends that have kids.
Like regularly, like who's big on TikTok?
Yeah, like I didn't know who JoJo Siwa was. And then, but also like
Look, I'd heard that name so many times. It had been explained to me who she was so many times. And then when she came out, people were like, JoJo Siwa came out as gay. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, she was in a band. Like, I forgot. I put it out of my mind every single time I heard it.
She wasn't in a band.
I know she wasn't in a band. This is me trying to piece it together.
She was like,
every time I hear her name.
I want to say like Dance Moms or something was a part of it.
That sounds familiar. You could tell me anything. You could say she was one of the Duggars.
What was oh, there's shit going on with the Doug. See, okay.
The Duggars are problematic. Your fave is problematic.
It's not my fave.
No,
we're talking to
you.
listeners.
The listener. You all love the Duggars.
Okay, so I have some friends that are moms.
Mom friends.
And they like tell me things because they follow like all of this pop culture stuff. And I guess like I'm vaguely aware of the Duggars. And I guess like recently, like this week, did you know about this? That the Duggar guy, he's been thrown in the slammer for a bunch of child porn.
Slammer.
Which you're not supposed to say child porn anymore, by the way.
What are you supposed to say?
Oh my God, neighbor sounds. It sounded like a ringtone, but it was someone dropping chains.
Like
there's chains
destroying a wind chime.
I don't even know if that's going to be readable on the podcast, but we heard it. You say the proper terminology these days is child abuse materials. Child abuse materials.
Wow. Okay.
Because I believe, from what I understand, when you say child pornography, you are kind of like saying it's like this sanctioned thing, and it is like pornography makes it sound like there was like consensual.
It sort of removes, it sort of removes the child from the equation. Like it's just this existing pornography that's not appropriate, but it's like, no, actual children are in it.
Or it's a child abuse materials.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this dude, I guess from what I read because they sent me the People, they sent the People stuff on the thread, the People magazine stuff. And I guess this dude, this Duggar dude, he was like already problematic because he had, I want to say, molested his teenage siblings.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds familiar.
Oh, you knew about that?
Yeah, I skimmed it it popped up on Twitter and I skimmed it.
Okay. And
just like a headline that was like, oh, this sort of is not that surprising.
But then like I read the article and he was like a part of this app I'm messing this up. Y'all better look this up. and not trust me.
Mr. Policeman, I gave you all the clues.
The snowman.
The snowman.
I'm doing jazz hands. You can't see my jazz. The snowman. Okay. So basically he was like on this special app called LifeLock or something. LifeLock's for your identity, I think, but it was like LifeLock for porn addicts. He had like signed up for it so that like his wife would be like, honey, you better download the LifeLock for porn addicts and opt into this program where you can't access. It's like child, child.
Yeah.
Like,
just to block all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
like
you can't access
child,
it.
What is it called? Restrictions on your computer or whatever.
Right.
It's like.
It was nice the wife reminded him to do that. Honey, don't forget.
Honey, don't forget to access your porn LifeLock.
Don't forget to restrict
your addiction.
To child abuse materials.
Your addiction. And then he was like, "Okay, honey," and then
yes, dear.
And then he was like, "That dumb, what? She don't know nothing about no technology. He like programmed some backdoor. Okay. He programmed some backdoor around it. I really skimmed this article and I have filled in a lot of blanks.
You skimmed it better than I did though.
Well, because it was like every line was more shocking than the previous sentence.
Yeah.
Where I was like, what? What is LifeLock for porn? What is all this? And then I guess like he was just still doing his thing. Mm-hmm. And he seems troubled.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. They are pregnant with like a 6th child or something. So this and then the judge, and I guess I don't know if this is typical. I don't know. I'm not in the system. Okay. I'm not certified.
I'm not a bailiff. All right.
My bail bonds business flopped.
It was worth a try.
It was. Bail bonds with style. That's reminding me of this docu-series we watched, but I'll say that in a second. But like the judge was like, oh yeah, you can, like while you're awaiting your trial, you can still see your children. Like,
wow.
What?
Wow.
Like, why wouldn't you just hit the snooze button on that until you figure shit out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like it. Well, whatever. I don't know anything about this thing I skimmed that I have a very strong opinion on.
But you know what you like.
I know what I like. And I like children being protected from abusers.
Same.
So we watched this docuseries. It was a while back about the love fraud. Remember?
We watched the love fraud.
But remember the bail bonds lady with her sassy t-shirt?
Yes. She had a different sassy t-shirt every day.
Awesome.
She was a real character.
It was on Showtime, I think, y'all. It was pretty interesting.
Here's the thing, though. And that was pretty enjoyable. But there's a trend now with all these docuseries that do not have to be as long as they are. They don't have to be multi-episode. Most of these could be a single 90-minute to 2-hour documentary.
Maybe. I agree with you on a lot of them. But, yeah, I agree with you on a lot of them.
You feel like a lot of the filler,
They're dragging out.
And it's just like, what are we doing
I agree with
here?
That. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And listen, I am a docu-series slut, bitches. Like, new docuseries drops, hold the phone. I'm running to the TV. Mm-hmm. I'm closing down the Instagram.
That's right.
And I'm getting
closing down the Instagram.
And I'm getting up in there. And I'm watching that docuseries. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Shave an episode or two off.
Yeah.
Tighten it up. Tighten it up.
What?
Tighten it up. Tighten it
up. I'm trying to remember. Because it used to be, it was like a docuseries, if they were going to do that, would be so sweeping in its scope. It's like, we have to tell this over the course of...
Especially if it's like a big story.
Yeah. If you're talking about like a Ken Burns thing, something like that.
If it's a big story, it's a big thing. Like I recommended last week, Exterminate All the Brutes, which I thought was the perfect amount of episodes because...
Absolutely.
It was a huge story. It was like a big idea.
It warranted the amount of time that it takes to watch it. Because the information, you're getting a lot of information.
But it wasn't like about this one dude who ripped off some ladies.
Yeah.
Which is what the Love Fraud was. I still liked the Love Fraud, though.
I liked it. And I thought it was well done. But I
enjoyed it.
And I don't think it's always the people who make them. I don't think it's always their idea.
No, it's like the network orders too much.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
because there's an audience
content.
For it. There's
they
an
want
it.
It. Yeah, they want the content.
They want that content.
They really do.
They need it.
They do. They need it. They need it.
Talk about being addicted. These networks are addicted to content. They need a wife to remind them to block it.
Well, I've got some Hollywood executives. If you're listening, my pilot's out going around, y'all. No one's read it yet.
It's still going around.
Heard that takes some time.
Yes, it does.
So that's fun.
It does. Look, how long does it take you to get a friend to read a thing? You know what I mean?
Well, I had friends that I was surprised read it pretty fast.
Some people are very good about that. I am not one of those people.
No, I take forever on everything. Paul was behind on reading my pilot. By the way, I've rewritten it, and you still haven't read I didn't even give you the rewrite because I was like, this changed and this changed, and I was like, that's good enough, right?
I'll wait till it comes across my desk.
I was like, I don't need him to read my rewrite because I just told him the things that changed. But whatever. Like, I felt okay about my rewrite. I read it again recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I can see everything in it. But I don't know, like when it's hard to, the best thing to do is have strangers read it. Because you don't want someone who's read it and then reading the rewrite to read it.
Yeah.
You want like total fresh eyes.
Yeah.
And that's
what was cool about when we sent out our other script, the one we did together, that to get feedback from people that we never met who were like, hey, this is really funny.
They
don't have to be nice to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like to hear positive things was.
They want a job, but whatever.
But I mean, you know, like they want.
No, I'm just kidding.
But they want to work on something they like. And I mean, it was nice. It's like, because you do feel so sealed off when you're writing something.
Well, yeah. And like I can see it all. And like, I know, like I already have like people in mind who I want to play the characters. They may not be who plays the characters if it ever goes anywhere, but like in my mind, that's who I'm imagining as I'm writing for it. You know, like I'm like, oh, okay, you know, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Do you think George Takei listens to Stay Homekins?
He probably does.
Because
he probably does.
He's got like a very pivotal part in my...
Don't spoil too much, honey.
Okay. I don't think he does, though, because I feel like we would have heard.
Look, we're losing listeners by the handful.
We are.
Did I say loosening?
Yeah, you did. The loosening. That's the title.
Loosening. Oh, that's no, we're in the loosening.
That's the title.
Yeah, that's the title.
Anyway, so here we are. So we have listeners that are far-flung around the world. We hear from you. It's wonderful, and we so appreciate it. We're in different stages now with like how people are dealing with COVID, what's open, what's not open.
How people are dealing with us and our podcast.
Definitely that. Because like just this week, the CDC was like, oh, y'all don't have to wear masks if you got the Fauci ouchie. And, you know, it was like, oh. But it's a very confusing thing to me. Yeah. Because... And I'm wondering if the calculation... Remember, because I just like explained to you today, I was like, well, some of my epidemiologists that I follow, they're a little like, this is a little too soon, y'all. Come on. A little too soon.
Yeah.
And however, I think we're in a unique place in America where, unfortunately... everything surrounding the pandemic became politicized because nothing can fucking exist in America that isn't politicized for some reason. Like we're in this like place, you know, like where everything is a cudgel and there's no nuance and you can't hold two beliefs at once and you can't, you know, like you have to take a stance on this or that or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking exhausting and also weakening of the mind, in my opinion. So the pandemic got so politicized with mask wearing and vaccine taking and, fucking, I don't even know. Like, it was just all over the place.
Yeah.
And so I kind of took some time to think about it when I was telling you how confused I was. Like, is this good or bad? Like, are the vaccines good? Like, I thought they said they were great. And oh, cuckoo.
Hi, cuckoo.
Y'all aren't going to hear that over the damn windows open in the dishwasher, I bet. Cuckoo's
Hey, if you heard the cuckoo, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. So I think the calculation sort of became this reward thing where it was like, we're going to say, you guys didn't like wearing masks, apparently, and you politicized it.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't like it. So we're going to say the more people who are vaccinated, the less you got to wear a mask. And offer all of these incentives. Like in Ohio, they're giving away like $1 million and stuff. And I'm just like, isn't that kind of sad though? Really?
It's extremely bleak.
That they've kind of had to do this to move the needle, to get vaccinated.
Yeah, exactly.
And the calculation is, it might not even work, really.
Yeah.
I mean, do they know?
Yeah.
I guess they're just sort of banking on, those who are vaccinated are protected. And then those, and some people actually medically can't get vaccinated or they have children under 12 or whatever. And so I don't know. It's a very strange, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I want to participate in this and ditch the mask. And I don't wear it outside anymore because they can't even find cases where it, spread on walking down the sidewalks and stuff. Maybe if you're in a contained outdoor bar, with 100 people shoulder to shoulder, that's a different story, but I'm not engaging those activities.
Yeah.
But it's just so confusing. I mean, what do you think? How do you feel about it? I mean, what do you want people to feel and think?
It makes me wonder, were people this weird during the polio vaccine? Were there people during the polio vaccine, a sizable number of people who were like, I don't trust that. I don't believe that. I don't think it's good.
Right.
Right. There probably were some people like that. You know what I mean? But I feel like now
Is it technology though? I mean, is it that we're in this echo chamber now that
it's dissemination of information and it's now, oh God, just the idea of people just going against common sense just to be contrary,
I mean, here's the thing is, the whole thing was scary. The new disease, the vaccines, everything was scary. So, I get all of it.
And I don't blame anybody for being skeptical of the government, Oh,
God, no.
But at the same time,
but it was a worldwide effort.
Yeah.
So much. It wasn't so much.
Exactly. And it gets into real conspiracy stuff when you're saying, oh, I don't trust this vaccine because they're going to track me or they're going to, oh, come on, guys. Come on, everybody.
Well,
come on.
I mean, yeah, that's like.
If you do you really think the government?
That's weird. Yeah.
I'm not even that paranoid, but the government knows they have access to fucking everything. They don't need to put a chip in your blood.
The government's in my Alexa.
Yes.
Right now, I woke her up.
There's now, 1 billion people in that thing
listening to me.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I trust. It's less the government for me than just modern technology and advancements. I would be more concerned, yes, that there is a drawback to a medicine because that's happened. Pharmaceutical companies have gotten ahead of their skis or whatever. Yeah. And I'll get in my recommendation at the end. Sort of touches on this.
Teaser.
Yeah. But I don't. But vaccines are different because they're for healthy people.
Yeah.
They're for people who are healthy instead of people who are sick.
Here's how you know that the vaccine is real and is actually effective is because of the patent stuff. Because we are not just shipping over, an entire boatload of it to India. That's how you know that it's real. Because
we're hoarding it?
Yeah, because
we're technically not totally I mean, I actually read some of the stuff. There was a take that made sense to me about the patent stuff.
Yeah.
Where they were like, even if they released the patents, it kind of doesn't really do anything. And I'll tell you why.
In terms of getting it to other people?
Yes, because there is a very complex system to manufacturing and distributing this vaccine that where like when the people who are making it and looking into manufacturing and distributing it, like there's only like a handful of places with the capability in the world to do it.
Right.
And so the patent thing is a little political in a way because it doesn't really solve. Even if they release the patents, and they just should, or whatever, it doesn't really. That's not necessarily going to accelerate.
But why are there so few places that can do this?
Just because it's a complicated thing. I mean, think about it. Like the Pfizer, and I'm not going to be a good expert on this, but like even just like the Pfizer thing is like it has to be so freaking cold, like so below zero or what, I don't understand it necessarily, but I believe that it is complex, that it's not a simple like manufacturing thing. And that said, and this person that I was reading about like saying this was like basically saying like, yeah, release the patents is not gonna, it doesn't necessarily mean they can just like be up and running, like there's a very strict protocol around making them.
Right.
But I don't know.
Would it not make things easier though? I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But there's all kinds of different technologies behind these vaccines. There's not just the one anymore,
How many? 5?
I don't know.
6?
I know of 2. But there's other countries who've made their own vaccines. Like there's the, I don't know, like the Novavax and the blah, blah, blah vax, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, not for me, man. I'm only getting American vaccines.
Well, it's funny you say that because I don't think our vaccine was American. I think Pfizer was like a European. It's just that we had the money to buy it.
Right.
Over the Europeans.
America, not us personally.
America. Yeah. America, like this technology, I'm messing it all up. I hate that I'm talking on this because I'm going to get a bunch of you're wrong abouts.
I mean, that's just the internet. But
you mean Twitter?
We're not experts, guys. We're not experts. What are we? We're like Joe Rogan over here.
Oh, yeah. What's Joe Rogan's deal? I don't know who he is or what he does, but people talk about him a lot, and I know he's rich.
Joe Rogan
and he moved to Texas.
Is a comedian who
But did he ever perform at M-Bar? Because if he didn't,
probably not.
So if he wasn't at M-Bar or Largo in the early aughts, which is where I learned about all of my comedy.
Right. He was I guess he still is a comedian, but he became an extremely popular podcast host, and he often courted these controversies because he would have controversial people on the show.
Let me ask you about him as a person. Like,
yes,
is he like of your generation, or is he like older?
He's probably about the same age as me, maybe a little younger.
So, like, did you see him in the clubs or?
No.
Like, where did he come up? Like New York?
I don't know. He might be a New York guy. I mean, he was on news radio for a while.
Oh, he was on. You mean? Oh, not the sitcom.
The sitcom News Radio.
Oh, he was on News Radio with Dave Foley.
Yes, he played the.
So he was an actor for a little while.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can remember ever seeing him act in, and he played like a maintenance guy at the station, something like that. He was like the tech guy.
Mm-hmm. Was Maura Tierney on that show?
Yes, she was. And he replaced Ray Romano, who was in the pilot, playing that role.
What?
Yes.
Come on.
Ray Romano plays that role on the pilot.
Like such an amazing actor. We've all like really come to learn like that Ray Romano has this amazing acting
But you
skills.
know what? If you saw News Radio, you would say, oh yeah, that's not Ray Romano's part.
I didn't see
It makes sense that it's this guy.
Okay.
And then, so I never, I mean, I did an episode of News Radio. I don't remember meeting him. Maybe I did. I don't know. He might not have been in that episode.
Maybe never met him.
I maybe never met him.
But he wasn't like part of the comedian groups in LA that like, or was he like maybe like Comedy Store?
Yeah, exactly. He would have been like a Comedy Store guy. Yeah.
What about like the Improv? Not the Improv. What's the one on Melrose near Fred Siegel's?
That's the Improv.
That's the Improv. That's what I meant. The Improv.
Yeah. There's the Improv, there's the Laugh Factory, there's the Comedy Store.
All right, so wait. So he would have been more Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Which is on Sunset.
Yes.
Near the Lemley. The Lemley 5.
That's the Laugh Factory. Comedy Store is a little further down the road.
Oh my God. Can I not keep these places
Comedy Store is the one that's all black and it has the signatures on the wall.
Yes, I've been to Comedy Store before.
Yeah.
And I have also been to the Improv. But I've never been inside the Laugh Factory, which is near Greenblatt's Deli.
Yes, that's right.
Well, why would I have not gone in there? Because I just never have gone there.
I don't know why you. That's a very interesting question, honey, and I don't think I have an answer to it. Why you would not have gone in there?
Because I saw you perform at the Improv,
right?
And annihilate, and then the Comedy Store I went to because I went to see some friends there or something. Mm-hmm. I don't think you were part of that.
No, I don't think so.
My Comedy Store visit. That place is not as I liked the Improv, like the space. Mm-hmm. The Comedy Store space was like a cave. It felt like a cabaret almost. Yeah, the Comedy Store is intentionally painted all black on the inside as well. The idea was that the focus would just be on the performer. Oh, okay. Okay. So it does feel very close in there. It does feel very cave-like in there. Yeah. What's the Comedy Store like? I mean, the Laugh Factory. What is the Laugh Factory like? The Laugh Factory is very brown. It's. Have you been in there? Yeah. Not in a long time, but yeah. Did you perform there? Yeah, I performed there. Yeah. Really? Yeah. What's your fave of the three? Oh God. Of the three, I guess the Improv, although I like the setup of the Laugh Factory because there's a balcony. You could go up there and watch the other comics. Oh, that's kind of cool. But and you can like sit down and watch them as opposed to like a lot of comedy clubs where you have to stand in the back, you know. And I think my standing in the back days are over. Oh, yeah. I like to sit down. Yeah. I think sitting down is actually should be a requirement for comedy. I think so too. Even though I've seen you at Bell House before. Yeah. And there's a lot of standing there. Yeah. But I sit because I'm in the, because you're my lady. Spousal yes, of course. Area or you're the first lady of the night. The first lady of well, my friend Brandon would be like, you're the first lady. When I would do my shows at Largo, and then you would have to like meet and greet people. Yeah. It was nice. I know. It was cute. It was nice. I liked it. It was fine. Largo's great. Well, the old Largo. Man, talking about standing in the back of the room. Old Largo. Yeah, but I always got a booth. I know. Because I would like nail that shit. Like I nail it down to the wall before I went to see it. This is before we were dating. And I used to stand every Friday night. Yeah. I would go there and I would stand and watch the John Bryan show. That's amazing. Every Friday night. Cool. Yeah. John Bryan's so cool. Yeah. That was a special time. That was a special time. Yeah. And kind of a transitional time for me when I was kind of I just started working on kind of getting my life together. Yeah. Which enabled me to. I know. You guys are so bored with that. Well, listen, speaking of boring, we got to take a break for some ads. Oh, God, the ads. I forgot. You guys, listen to these ads. We'll be right back. We'll be right. We are so honored. Honored. Who are you, Medea? Honored to be sponsored by Rare Tea Cellar. Yes. Now, first of all, last week I said accidentally a plural version, but that is incorrect. It is a rare tea cellar. It's just the one giant cellar full of rare tea that they find from all around the world that you can access through the internet at rareteacellar.com.
It's not a secret cellar that you have to be in a movie, a coming of age movie to find.
No, it is not secret. It is for y'all. So here's what is amazing. First of all, I guess their primary thing is rare tea. That's their primary thing. But they also sell like all of these gourmet ingredients and spices. And they were kind enough to send us a goodie box full of their products. So I have been sampling their tea all week. Yeah. And I am losing my mind over it because, and this is like, just like, I'm being honest, like it is so good. I love tea and they have, I cannot lie. And they have this awesome little tea pot with like a strainer and all these awesome teas that come in like this, like foil pouches.
Can I say one thing about the little teapot?
Yeah.
It is short and stout.
It is short and stout.
It is.
And it's cute.
Yeah.
And so I have been trying all the different teas they sent because I wanted to be able to like share my real thoughts about them and not be, just like, oh, this place. Okay. First of all, they had the one, I'm going to mess up the names, but it was like a jasmine green tea. And I love a jasmine green tea. Mm-hmm. And the tea was like these little pearls. And then when it brewed, they unfurled. They
reveal themselves to you.
I was stunned. Like I gasped. Also, by the way, it was like a delicious jasmine green tea. And then there was the barrel-aged chocolate puree tea. I don't know how to say it.
Can you spell it?
If I had it in front of me, I can spell it. PUR-EHH.
What? Just keep going.
Listen, here's the thing. I was like, when Tim sent me the tea from Rare Tea Cellar that said his favorite was the chocolate one, I was like, I love chocolate, but there's no fucking way that tea is going to be
You were skeptical.
Good. And then I had it and I was like, oh, this is like awesome. Like it was awesome.
And then she was like, you got to try this. And I was like, I'll try it. And I was like, this is awesome.
I put a little honey that they sent us that was like this fancy honey from Italy where they like track these bees or something.
These are fugitive bees.
I'm sorry. Rare Tea Cellar. They've been written up in Forbes. They've been written up in the Wall Street Journal. They have rare treats. They stock Chicago's Michelin star kitchens. And here is the most exciting thing for y'all. First of all, they have awesome gift like baskets.
Yeah.
Or baskets
it all looks
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It all looks like exquisite.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can do like a tea of the month subscription. Third of all, they have like artisanal vermouth they sent us and these like amazing like flavor pearls, like yuzu flavor pearl. I don't even know what to do with them. I'm excited to try them. Please go to rareteacellar.com. Use our promo code HOMEKINS. That's capital H, lowercase Omekins. For 20% off your entire purchase. They're doing an entire month of May discount with us.
This is a great
sponsoring
deal.
Like our whole month. And also like I'm kind of bowled over by them.
Yeah.
But they're fans of the show and they're a small business and we get to support small business, but also have exquisite things. This is self-care, y'all. Yeah. This is self-care.
This stuff is amazing.
Get yourself the nice tea and get the nice spices. Yeah.
This stuff is amazing. The deal is great.
20%
It's great
off.
for gifts. Look, dads and grads. It's almost dads and grads season.
You probably forgot your mom.
Moms are over.
You forgot your mom. You know some tourists.
I forgot your
Don't forget your mom.
Did you say you know some tourists?
Tauruses.
Oh, Tauruses.
Tauruses.
You know some tourists. People that visit your town. Give them tea.
Anyway, rareteacellar.com. Promo code HOMEKINS with a capital H. We love y'all. Thank you so much.
Well, guess that Jay what? We are sponsored once again by our pals, Green Chef.
Green Chef.
Thank you, Green Chef. Thank you, Green Chef.
Green Chef.
Listen, do you know what Green Chef is?
Green Chef.
If not, I'm here to tell you. Green Chef is the first USDA certified... Listen, crack a cold one.
I didn't know that was
And listen to the story of Green Chef. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. Yes.
No, I love it.
All right. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company.
Meal kit, Green Chef.
Enjoy clean ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced for peak freshness. Green Chef is the first ever keto meal kit on the market. It makes sticking to a low-carb lifestyle easy with recipes averaging only 14 net carbs each. Look, we've had Green Chef many times.
Yeah, we don't really do the keto one. We do like the balanced.
They have all kinds of meals.
Yeah, they do, but we're not healthy, so we try to go for the other things. But they're so delicious and they're fun to make.
Yeah. They really are. We've liked everything that we've tried from Green Chef.
The thing I like about Green Chef, number one, is that it takes the sort of mental load off of planning your meals out of the equation.
Yes.
But the other thing I like is the portions are really perfectly done.
They're perfect.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't like overshop and then have to throw stuff out in your fridge. You
also don't feel hungry after you eat. It's
no,
it's
they're so good. The meals are really good. I love Green Chef.
I am calling you to action. Go to greenchef.com/90homekins. That's 90homekins, and use code 90homekins to get $90 off, including free shipping. Greenchef.com/90homekins.
Green Chef.
Use code 90homekins to get $90 off, including free shipping.
Green
Chef. This was an ad.
It's really good. Oh, we're back, you guys.
Oh, man. We're back.
Are you going to shop for some gourmet things at Rarity's Cellar?
Okay, look.
You can get yourself some meal kits.
Okay, let's not do free ads right now.
Okay, why not?
This is the body of the show.
All right, y'all. Here we are. We're back. We went to Costco.
today.
Oh my God, y'all. I hadn't been to Costco in like 14 months.
I haven't been in forever. It's been a long time.
I made Paul go with me because I had to buy like things that were heavy.
Make me go.
Well, because
we're partners in life.
It's true. We are partners. But then we were like looking at some stuff and the guy there, we were like, I was like,
okay, we were in the booze aisle.
We were in the wine pause. So I was like, I want to try this wine. I don't know. I want to look for a white wine or something. When did he start? Oh.
First, we were looking for mixers.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, oh, we don't really have that here. And he went into a very long explanation.
A detailed explanation as to why Costco does not stock mixers except for things like Kahlua, which has several different uses.
Applications, he said. Applications.
He really, I got to say, it was a journey with this man.
I kind of loved him in a way because he also
But did you love him at first?
No.
Neither did I.
No, at first I was like, oh, Paul's going to be pissed to this guy. Remember when you got so mad at me at the Lazy Boy store? I should not bring that up. It was not a good day, y'all.
It was
not a good day. It was not a good day.
This is an old thing.
Not
every once in a while, I have to remind Janie. Please do not tell people that I am in the comedy business because everyone has something to say about that.
Well,
and they have many questions for me.
Okay. First of all, Lazy Boy is not a sponsor, but we're open. I've owned 2 Lazy Boys, and I'm kind of like I proselytize.
Look, guys, Lazy Boy is not bad.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they I don't know.
Is the name terrible? Yes, it is.
They're going to tell me they starve orphans and make, people. They kill puppy. They run a puppy mill on the
Lazy
side.
Boy is the Ellen of chair stores.
I want to get into the Ellen thing because I read something. Okay. I like Lazy Boy kind of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I'm like a Lazy Boy person.
Lazy Boy is comfortable.
Also, by the way, this is not your granddaddy's Lazy Boy.
That's true.
Have you looked at Lazy Boy lately? Have you looked lately? Because they have stuff. We have a chair in our house that people don't know is a Lazy Boy.
And we love telling them.
And
when they say, this is a great chair, we say, it's a Lazy Boy.
And then they sit in it and we're like, if you push on the arms, you can recline.
You would never know what to look at it.
You can recline.
You would never know what to look at it. It's a secret recliner.
It's a secret recliner. So
idiots.
Okay. So we had to go to the Lazy Boy store, and this was like pre-pandemic, y'all. This is like a while
ago.
Back.
Yeah.
This is like a whole day because it's not like near us. The Lazy Boy store.
This was not our neighborhood Lazy Boy.
Yeah. Because I was like, if we go to like Torrance or I don't know where we're going. And so we go there. And we were like pretty like decided on what we wanted. Like we went on the website. We just needed to sit in it. Oh, yeah.
We researched. That's all we wanted to do was just see, is this thing comfortable that we designed?
We wanted to sit in it. And then we had to pick the fabric. Did we pick that? Didn't we pick the fabric?
That online too, yeah.
Fabric in advance.
Yeah,
Because we're like, these are the colors. We just make sure this fabric's not shit.
Yeah. Oh no, the whole thing took way longer than it should have. Considering how much advance work we had done.
And the guy, this man who was helping us, oh my God.
He was a chatty Charles.
He was like... First of all, he didn't need to butter us up to make this sale because we basically came in and we were like, we want this style and this style.
Exactly. But he was still kind of trying to sell us on it.
He did
we're going to buy it.
He did like kind of upsell us on like the Scotch guarding or whatever on the fabric. But then we were like, no, we're slobs. Like we're going to be,
we want to stain the chair up.
We're going to basically be
as a badge of honor.
Only eating in this chair. So yeah, add the fucking Scotch guard. Like add it, And so I guess like the way that their whole warehouse, whatever works, like it's like when you go to buy a car and they're like, oh, this is going to take 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like you're at the dealership. Like you're like, I should have brought snacks for this kind of a thing. So it felt kind of like that where he was like entering all of these SKU numbers and like.
It was wild.
It was like, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. To be honest.
There were phone calls you had to make.
Oh yeah. He had to call and then he.
To buy a chair.
And I'm like. I'm like a target. I have like a sign on me that's like, oh yeah, I'll just be your friend, like to make this go better. Mm-hmm. And he's like, where are y'all from? Where, blah, blah, blah. How long you been? I don't even think he was that curious about us.
No, he wasn't. He mostly talked about himself.
He did.
He thought we learned a lot about him.
And then somehow he was like, oh, I don't know how it came up.
He said that I looked familiar.
Oh, that's what it was. You're right. He said that you looked familiar. Yeah. And then Paul was doing this whole song and dance of like, there's no fucking way I could look familiar to you. Like, I've never done anything.
Oh, I have it down. Like, when people say you look familiar, I'm like, oh, really? I get that a lot.
And then I was like, he's on TV.
You said I was a comedian.
I was like, well, he's a comedian. And, and then he was, oh my God. It was
first there's
terrible.
Where would I have seen you?
Paul was literally like glaring daggers. Like as soon as
I asked you so many times not to do that.
But it was like he wouldn't let it go.
No, he would not.
And I was in the middle of this purchase. I wanted that recliner,
Well, here's what was good, though. That it was only uncomfortable for a little bit. Like, first, there's always the thing where they make you say where you might have seen them, which is impossible. Unless it's like, you know what I mean?
Like you were just on the news because
unless you were a TV,
you're FBI's most wanted.
Well, but if you were, in which case you shouldn't tell them. But if you're turn that over. If you're a TV star on a top 10 TV show,
like you're on Modern
you can
Family.
confidently say,
like on Modern
I'm
Family.
on Modern Family. Yeah.
Do you watch Modern Family?
Otherwise, if it's like, where have I seen you? It's like, I don't know. I've done a million tiny things.
Totally.
Was it one of those?
Totally.
Then they ask like what kind of comedy you do, which is an impossible question to answer.
Oh God, yes.
Then
and also and then when you get to the final thing, this is the thing is like, and then they're like, I don't really watch TV.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
What have I seen? And then you name like 25 shows and then like, I don't watch TV. And then you're like, you motherfucker.
But what usually happens is what happened with this guy is that then they will segue into a thing that they do watch, that they do want to talk about. And so this guy segued into talking about comedians that he liked.
Which were, I don't even.
I think he said Richard Pryor. I think he said George Carlin.
Of course. Well, of course.
Yeah. So then it's like, okay, now I can relax. He's just going to talk about
he just wanted to talk.
He likes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was like a really chatty guy. He was very nice, but it's like I never want to.
He was nice in that way. He like reminded me of like people I've worked with at like restaurants or stores. Mm-hmm. You know, where it's like they're like a good dude, but they're dorks, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like okay, you know.
Yeah. He was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy, but he was like
he clearly liked his job and he was good at it.
He was normcore. He was like super normcore.
We're mumblecore. Like, dude, we're not going to match up.
We're whatever core. Like, I'm whatever core, like, whatever day I'm feeling core. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, one day I might be this core, one day I might be that core.
Honey, I think you're chameleon core.
I might be this and that core. Chameleon core.
Yeah.
Chameleon core.
That's you.
Like, don't pin me down core. How about that?
Sure.
All right. So
so what were we talking about?
I was going to say, I saw this thing on Ellen right before.
No. We were talking about buying something. Before we
talked to Costco.
We went to Costco, yes.
Guy, what was his name?
His name was Greg.
Greg? I thought it started with a D.
You think it was Dave?
I don't remember.
I thought it was Greg.
I'd said his name 5 times.
In my mind's eye, he looks like a Greg.
All I know is he was like, here's where you need to go for the mixers. And it was like, he basically like he was telling us about like a drug deal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like he was directing us to the Silk Road.
Yeah. It was like, go down this alley. And by the way, I've already like tagged it in my Google Maps.
The place. What? Oh, the place, not him.
No, the place. Like I
tagged Greg in my Google Maps.
Like I left and I was like, I'm putting that on my want to go.
Yeah.
In my want to. Like I put it in there.
Here's the thing. What's so funny is it started out as this guy is giving us too much information. We don't need to know about Costco's policy on mixers, right?
By the way, we had a bunch of club soda in the fucking. We already had.
Yeah. By the way,
Greg.
and anyone doubting us?
Did you
we
know,
had some mixers. We just wanted a couple more.
Did you know they carried this LaCroix that I just opened during the Green Chef ad? Because I'm drinking this flavored LaCroix. Some might call that a mixer.
That's right. So then he starts telling us about the place where you can. It's essentially Costco for mixers.
It was like a mom and pop. He was like the guy.
He gave us the history of this place.
Like the guy had the idea for like a Costco before a Costco, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "This is fascinating. I've never heard of this place, and I live like clearly close by." And he's like, "It's 8 minutes from here," and I was like, "Okay, that's not far."
Yeah.
And then, but then he was like, "I don't know. I want a white wine," and he looked at the Sancerre I chose, and he's like. That's an okay Sancerre, but you want the best Sancerre in the place? You pay a little extra for this one, and over there's all the sale wine. You got a Chardonnay for $12. It's on sale for $6. It's like the best Chardonnay. And I was like, Greg, tell me everything.
I know.
Tell me everything.
He like transformed into, I see what guy he is. This is a great guy.
This guy is like on.
Yes.
This guy is like the guy you wanted.
Yes.
And then what was
then I loved him.
We walked around and got the $6 Chardonnay, and then overheard him telling another customer like about I don't know what cognac or something. Like he was, and I was like, I looked at Paul and I was like. We just like nodded. We were like, We like laughed. We're like,
Enjoy your journey, friend.
Yeah.
Enjoy your journey with Greg.
Like we interacted with the guru. We interacted with like the fucking Costco.
Yeah. He was awesome. And he was like, he's an older guy, probably in his 60s, right?
Costco's like famously good to their employees. Like,
but Hawaiian shirt.
I'd work at like
gray
a Costco.
Ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was awesome.
Yeah, he's wearing a K95.
He was not fucking around.
He wasn't fucking around.
He was not fucking around.
I would have assumed him to have been a vaccinated fella because of his age range. Like he would have been in like a earlier range.
Early tier.
Yeah. And also essential worker, you know, blah, blah, blah. But he was like, I'm still K95ing it.
Yeah.
Maybe he has someone at home. He has to be cautious. I don't know. I respected his game.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
know? Like I respected his game. I was like, okay, he knows who he is.
I think he knew who we were.
I think he knew we wanted a $6 fucking Chardonnay that was on markdown. That was one of the top tier. He was like,
he looked into our souls.
He basically was like, Costco puts the sales stuff over there. Like he pointed to the direction. He's like, that's the stuff that's like the most popular, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay.
Can I tell you?
I did not buy a Kirkland.
I wasn't sure because I picked up a couple bottles of red while we were there.
Okay. Did you?
He looked into our cart and I wasn't sure if he didn't say anything, but he definitely like clocked everything that was in there. Mm-hmm. And we did not have a ton of stuff.
No.
So he looked at those bottles and he didn't say anything. And it made me think, is he
okay with?
Yes.
Is he okay with
Does he approve of my choices?
Yeah.
Or is he like, this guy's beyond
Did you
help?
get a duck horn? Did you buy a duck horn?
I did not buy it. I didn't see duck horn there.
They have duck horn there.
I should have gotten some. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, no shit. That's just good.
Yeah. That's the one I will get when your mom visits.
My mom likes when Paul gets it. Shit, like he bought the duck horn and my mom came. I think everyone remembers she came in March.
I think we all remember that she famously came in March.
I know. People were like, she should have been on the podcast. I'm like, no.
She flat out refused. We absolutely wanted her to say hello.
Not.
Look, she's a civilian. You know what I mean?
But also, like, she's kind of like I would say, textbook introvert.
Yeah.
Like she's not getting energy from other people.
And she's very controversial. We couldn't put her
definitely
on
that.
open mic.
She definitely is kind of that. She's a little controversial.
Mm-hmm. In a good mom way.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. She's like, whatever. Anyway, my point is Paul bought duck horn. And then
I saved it for the last night.
And then when he pulled out the duck horn and she was like, oh my God. You bought the duck horn? Like she could not believe. This is why she like loves Paul, by the way.
She does love me. I love her so much.
I know. We're going to Charleston this summer.
Yeah.
So my friend, okay.
Is this the Ellen thing?
Oh, no. I was just going to say my friend lives in London. And
Claire, shout out to Claire.
Claire's coming to Charleston at the same time. And that's sort of like, I was like, I want to see Claire. I have to see Claire. But London's having some issues with their variants.
Yeah.
And I texted her today and I was like, what the fuck? Am I going to have to, say something to Boris Johnson? What's his name? Johnston or Johnson?
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson or whatever. And she's like, I'm coming. I don't fucking care. I was like, all right. Also, there's still travel is allowed and they're vaccinated, but whatever. Right. Oh, so Ellen DeGeneres. So what do listeners think of this Ellen DeGeneres controversy? Because I never really, when I was like a teenager, I saw Ellen DeGeneres do stand up on TV.
Yeah.
Like, was it on like late night or was it on like, I don't know.
Oh, it could have been anywhere. I mean, she was, I don't know if she was on Star Search.
Special or something? Or?
She was on the Tonight Show a lot. Like she was a very successful stand-up in those days. Like she was a star.
Yeah. And I thought she was so funny. I mean, I really did. I thought she was, and honestly, I don't remember seeing a lot of women stand-ups at that time.
Absolutely.
There
was a handful that made it past, the gatekeeping,
Yeah. Yeah. What a brutal profession.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so, I liked her. And then I guess she had a sitcom and I didn't really watch it, but I respected it. And I remember her coming out as a lesbian to, the world. And I thought that was cool and whatever. And then she got her daytime talk show. And then I remember, and I didn't really watch it because I just didn't watch daytime talk shows because of life or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I remember in 2007, the writer's strike happened. Mm-hmm. And that was like a big, crazy time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I was like picketing at far. I mean, I wasn't in, I wasn't in the guild, but I was in Screen Actors Guild.
There was a lot of
cross support,
solidarity,
the sisterhood unions and stuff. And because basically we all wanted to go back to work. And unfortunately, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, and probably have some writer people who listen to this, but that created a vacuum for reality programming.
Exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I don't think reality program would not have flourished if the writer's strike hadn't happened, but I don't think it would have flourished as quickly as it had.
Yeah.
Like it really just.
I think that's probably true.
I think because I think it was a thing in Europe at that time, right?
Yeah, I mean there had been reality shows.
Well, there was like Real World and stuff like that.
Yeah. The genre existed in America. It's not like it didn't, but it was when people realized. The people in charge realized like, oh, there's so much this costs so little to make.
Right.
And there's so, and none of it is unionized and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there was a lot of like stuff going on at that early aughts in that 2007 time where it was like this writer's strike really did halt a lot of creativity and, like things going forward in Hollywood and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But at the time, I guess Ellen, she crossed the picket line or something. Or she didn't shut down she didn't support the writers.
She did not stop her show and she did not support the writers. And she pretty much just let everybody go. She let everybody go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people who don't know much about the industry, a lot of people said that they do like hearing a little bit about the industry. So I'll just say a couple boring things, which is that.
Hey, if you like this, I'm going to say some boring things.
Well, is that it's a unionized industry. Mm-hmm. So, and it is very taboo to work off the card, as they say.
Yeah.
Like you don't work off the card.
Yes.
And when something is going on with negotiations, like if you're a member, if you profit off of these unions, which I guess Ellen did at that time and all of Hollywood did, you stand by their
profit off the unions, meaning that she had union employees who made her show
a thing. Yeah. Yes, if you're profiting from union workers making your show better and good, then you stand by them when they're saying we want these negotiations to go a different way.
Especially when you are in a position where you are essentially set for life.
Yes.
And a lot of these people, this might be their first job, or they might go from job to job to job. And it's the union and the pensions and all that stuff that protects them against being out on the street. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Exploited and like working for nothing. And, like showbiz is one of those jobs. And there are a lot of jobs like this in the everyday world that are not guaranteed. It's like you go from gig to gig to gig. You don't just work in the same place every time.
You're like a freelancer and you rely on these unions to help you build a pension and build health credits.
If you get lucky, you land in a place where it's like, this is my job for 20 years.
But what's so crazy that people don't understand when they're like, oh, these Hollywood elites, blah, blah, blah. What people don't understand is the majority of the industry is nothing like that.
Yes.
That class.
Yeah.
That particular class of Hollywood worker is not the majority.
Absolutely.
At all.
Yeah.
At all. And a lot of the working class, middle class industry workers look toward the people that make a lot of money to kind of help them out in terms of like, this issue is important for my workers. I want them to have better health insurance. I want them to have, whatever. And so when that writer's strike was happening, it was like scandalous in Hollywood circles.
Yeah.
I should say that she did not support the union.
Not only didn't support the union, but fired her writers. Like that's beyond.
That's crazy.
Like, look, I remember when Conan was doing shows where he would just go on during that strike.
Yeah.
He would just go on and like.
And be like, the writers aren't working.
Yeah. And he would like bullshit. He would riff, you know?
Yeah. I think, yeah. And
it's that was, you know, he's keeping the show going, but
he's keeping the jobs open for when they come back.
Yes. He's also not just letting them go and saying, I don't need you or you don't matter to me or whatever.
That's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
So I think so when that happened at that time, I think a lot of people in the industry were like, oh, maybe Ellen's not cool.
Yeah.
As like a person.
I mean, that should have been the thing. It's wild how many.
Well, but that's
how many clips.
But that's in the industry, though. I mean, like it doesn't reverberate. Like she's a syndicated talk show person.
I know, but don't you think that would resonate with a lot of people?
I guess, but
all over. Like
it's complicated.
This boss fired employees during a strike. Like that's what it comes down to.
That's true, but it wasn't. I don't think it made the news in that way.
Yeah.
To the universe.
This is before we were all online as much as we are now, and you know, sharing every little thing and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like, okay, well, maybe she's like not a great boss. Like I don't know, you know. So like I go about my business, and she continues to have her powerful daytime talk show stuff, and I guess it was just in this pandemic year. Is that right? That this stuff came out online that she was a bad boss, a toxic.
Yeah, a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of it came recently. Out. Yeah.
Oh, I know what happened. I know I'm messing this up. That she sort of was doing Zoom shows or something and said,
"Oh, like, that was part of it." Yeah, where she was like,
"She was like, this sucks. I can't be." And it's like, yeah, no shit. We're all doing this.
But she was saying like, this is what it's like to be in prison.
In her
From
mansion.
Her fucking mansion. People were like, this is not what it's like to be in prison, Ellen.
Yeah, so people were like, you're being tone deaf at a time when people are like losing people to death.
It just kind of snowballed. Like, there was like thing after thing after thing of people just pointing things out. Like saying, how about this, everyone?
Well, I think her classism really was exposed.
Yeah.
Her classism was exposed.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, if you want to be that way, I feel like I don't have much of an opinion about this, like Ellen and all of it, other than like what I've absorbed from working in the industry, because I didn't really I did like her comedy as a young person. I thought she was a fucking so funny, good,
great stand-up.
Yeah, so good. And also like a barrier breaker, you know, like as a woman in comedy, as a gay person in comedy. So, but the thing was, where was I going with this? Where I was just like saying it like didn't really matter to me so much, but then people were pointing. I can't remember my point I was going to make. There was something that she said. Oh, I know what it was. That I had accidentally seen her. I had accidentally watched. I don't know why. I feel like someone said something online and I sought it out. I don't watch that show Comedians in Cars or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, with Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah, but someone said something about it and I was like, because like the gay community will talk about Ellen because they don't feel like she spoke up enough and stuff, right. You know, and so I kind of knew that like a little bit, but I wasn't following it closely because it's like, well, she already didn't speak up for her own employees. What is she going to speak up? And so I somehow accidentally watched this Comedians in Cars with her and Jerry Seinfeld, and it was like so bizarrely unrelatable. Right. Like I was like, I don't like these people.
Like they are just talking about millionaire shit.
They seem like Martians.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they were even talking about money, but they were like uncomfortable in the world with not being with like a billionaire class or something. Like it was just like, I was watching it and I was like, what is this? This is so, I was literally watching it as like like a sociology.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like I wasn't even watching it for any other reason. And it was striking me in such a strange way as someone who doesn't follow them now.
Right.
Like I loved Seinfeld when it was on. I loved Ellen as a stand-up, but I didn't follow the post.
Yes.
Wealth or whatever. And so I was like, this is so weird. This is so weird. I'm finding it weird.
Because they just seem so uncomfortable and awkward.
But also, like, maybe, like, she didn't like him. That's a vibe I was getting.
Right.
Right. Like, now I feel like I have to revisit it almost because I'm talking about it in a way that I don't remember why I felt.
Should we do a watch along?
Yeah, I think it's only like 10 minutes. Is it only like 10 minutes long? And she's like in an estate. She lives in this estate.
Right.
And it's very gated and there's wrought iron, I think, involved. And I don't even know. So I was like, okay, this is weird, whatever. And then when all this stuff came out about Ellen in the pandemic, I was like, yeah, this tracks. I mean, it just fucking tracks. Like,
well, it really was like
tracks.
A snowball. It was like her and hanging out with George W. Bush, and then
I forgot about
going on and saying like people have different politics. Like all this
to me, that was like her least offensive. To me, that was like the least offensive because you can hang out with George W. Bush and still treat your employees lovely.
True.
You know what I mean? You could be like,
but it
dumb.
is like it does make sense that someone would hang out with George W. Bush, who is actively against everything about you and tried to make it policy, but because you're both rich, you hang out together at the Super Bowl. So it's like that is why. So it's then when you see that, it's like, oh, no wonder she treats her staff like shit, and you can't look me in the eye.
So this is where I was going with this. Is right before all this, before I saw the tip jar on Twitter today.
Forgot about that already.
I saw this article. Okay, I think I had this app, and it might be a trash app, and I don't know.
Oh no, you have a trash app?
Yeah, it's called Smart News. It's like
it sounds very sketchy.
It might be trying to radicalize me.
Smart News.
But okay, I thought it was like this news aggregator app, but for some reason, all it does is feed me like Meghan Markle stuff. But then the other side of it is weird, which is weird.
Smart News.
Which is weird. The Smart News app. I thought it was just an aggregator because I was like looking for something where I wanted a balanced thing in front of my face.
I get that, yeah.
And I didn't want to be in the echo chamber. And now it's like, it's all Meghan Markle, number one. Number two, it might be, I'm suspicious that Netflix owns it.
Why?
Because every fifth headline is like Netflix is coming out with Netflix's number one show is this.
Are those stories or are they like
stories.
Sponsored sort of ads? Like
no, they're stories. I don't know if they know me. Do they know I'm watching Netflix all the time?
And you're obsessed with Meghan Markle.
I like Meghan Markle. I like the Harry and Meghan stuff. Whatever. There was a story on there, just knowing that I'm on this trash app about Ellen. That was like a writer of hers basically spilling the tea on some podcast, basically being like, yeah, she's a fucking, by all accounts, a nightmare person.
Yeah.
I work for her, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, what do you wish for? This is the best part of the article. What do you wish for Ellen in the future? And she was like, that she works on a farm with animals, pigs and cows and dogs, because she can relate to them better than people. What the fuck, y'all? What the fuck?
What an amazing question to ask someone.
Maybe that wasn't the question. Somehow that came out as the answer, but I don't know what the exact question was. What should she do? I don't know what the question was. All I'm saying is that article was, I read it. I clicked on it and I read it. Okay. Mm-hmm. I click on it. It.
We all click on it. You know what I mean?
Do you click on all the Meghan and Harry stuff? Because
no, I don't.
They're obviously in a feud with William and Kate.
Yeah. Who cares?
And Charles and they are just like, they're pissed. Mm-hmm. They're pissed at Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
Do you know why I think they're pissed at Harry and Meghan?
Because they told everyone that they're racists?
No, I don't think that's why.
Why do you think it is then?
I think it's that they are jealous that Harry and Meghan get to live a free and normal as you can.
I totally agree. I
think
that's part of it.
There's a resentment of like, how fucking dare you get to do something that we want to do, but we can't do because we bought into this thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It's first, it's the how dare you turn your back on this tradition is very important. But then secretly, the real thing is how dare you just do whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, like, why wouldn't Harry want to get to do whatever he wanted to do? Because he's not even close to the throne, really.
No.
He's not even there.
No.
Like, what is he supposed to do?
He's the spare.
He's basically supposed, so in other words, like, he's supposed to just have this, like, really shitty life that he doesn't want to lead because...
That's the deal, man.
Is it the deal?
It kind of is, yeah. If you want to still have a monarchy, yes, that's the deal.
Really?
Yeah.
And then what I thought was so funny because of the Smart News app was that because I watched the Oprah interview with Harry and Meghan, and they were
so many great memes. We got so many great memes out of it.
And they were like, yeah, someone was like, basically, oh my God, it's a double cuckoo.
It's a double cuckoo all the way.
They were basically, what does it mean? They basically were like, yeah, someone was like worried that my baby was not going to be white skinned or whatever. And it was like, what the fuck? And then all of a sudden I was seeing all of this like stuff where they were like hugging like Kate and William and Charles were like hugging black people.
Now, are these like old photos they dug up, or is like all of a sudden they were like, we got to hug black people?
No, they were like, see, when they visited their colonized.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That was like, exactly. See how she like touches that little girl's. She takes that little girl's flowers and hilarious. Touches her, and it was like, that's not going to change.
Oh,
that's not about. That's a different. To me, that's like that doesn't even. Yeah. It's like a complete misunderstanding of.
Yes,
certain biases, and do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
It was like it was like for like 2 weeks.
It's almost like something a racist would do to prove they're not racist.
It's almost something like, yeah, I don't. It was like, I mean, yeah, it was really weird. It was like, okay, and yeah, I don't know. All
right, we should wrap.
And
it
they're
up.
like making it sound. Wait, I will say like the shit that trickles through on my Smart News is like some of it is like British tabloid stuff, and they're vicious over there.
Oh yeah,
vicious.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same as here.
No, it's like they're all the New York Post over there,
and they'll be like, Meghan Markle is a total psychopathic diva, and like she da, and it's like. You can tell that she's not. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh.
That reminds me of.
She's not.
Somebody, there was about the Ellen thing.
That should be the Ellen headline.
Well, there was when like I saw some tweet where they linked to that story, like Ellen's going to stop her show or whatever. And somebody and people like were rejoicing and stuff, you know. And then somebody commented on this thread, great, now do Meghan Markle next. And there were all these comments like, what are you talking about? Like the idea that we got to debunk that Meghan Markle is nice or something? Like
what? That's I know. So okay, I'm going to say this on the podcast just to put it out there.
All right.
I don't believe that Meghan Markle isn't nice. Like, all those stories, I think, are garbage.
I think she's fine. I'm sure she's fine. You know what I mean? I'm sure she's just like a human being.
I don't like that.
I would take the word over a regular old human being over someone born into a royal family.
I just am saying it now because if something does come out, like she did this and there's a video of it. You don't want to
eat your words.
There's like a video. Yeah, I'm just saying it now. Like I don't understand what percentage they get out of denigrating Meghan Markle.
Who's they?
The royals, the press and the royals and all of that. The leaking.
Yes, you do. Of course I don't. You do. What do you mean?
I don't think that there is any, do you know what I think they would get benefit from? Is saying, we support Meghan and Harry. That's what I think they'd get benefit from.
They would, but it's too late for that. The horse has left the barn.
We love Hagen.
Hagen.
We love
that's their portmanteau. That's a celebrity portmanteau.
We love Hagen. Hagen is sweet. They have a baby. Let them have their baby and leave them the fuck alone.
Yes, but
why can't they just say that?
Because first they were racist. Then there was an interview where they said, "Yeah, they're racist," and now, it's if they were going to support them, they would have supported them in private first, which they obviously didn't do.
No, they did not.
Who knows what goes on behind closed palace doors? We should wrap this up. Do you have any recommendations?
Yes. I believe I recommended a docuseries earlier. My very favorite docuseries maker. We're not friends. I never met him. But if you're Alex Gibney.
I hope someday you meet.
Alex Gibney, if you're listening. I love you, man. I fucking love you.
And what is the series again?
The Crime of the Century is on HBO Max, the app. And it's basically about the opioid epidemic and how it was facilitated through policy and government and greed gone unchecked and also the pharmaceutical companies basically being there. It was like watching Narcos.
Yeah. This is one of those series that deserves the time.
Well, yes, because Alex Gibney does his research and
it's been going on for a while, and it's a true disgusting, immoral crime.
But this relates back to our earlier conversation about the vaccine and stuff, and people being sort of mistrustful of pharmaceutical companies. And I get it.
Yeah.
Because the pharmaceutical companies misled our population about opioids. They don't have this particular problem in other countries. Mm-hmm. It's like our gun violence thing.
Yeah.
It's a very unique.
We're a unique country.
American issue where greed is facilitated by certain mindset and policies and government in a way that it ends up harming the electorate. It harms the citizens as opposed to helps them.
But it's a great series, and
I just love Alex Gibney.
Yeah,
I would also like to shout out Girls 5 Eva on
absolutely
Peacock.
We watched the whole series.
Just full disclosure, we are friends with Busy Phillips, who's a star of one of the stars.
Disclosure. She's one of the Girls 5 Eva.
She's one of the Girls 5 Eva.
She's fucking great on the show. She's so good.
Busy's comedy choices. First of all, very bold comedy choices that she's making.
She's doing a real character.
And she's super committed to it.
Yes.
In a way that Kathleen Catherine Schitt's Creek. Oh my God.
Catherine O'Hara?
Catherine O'Hara is leaning into her character on Schitt's Creek. I feel like Busy.
That's a good comparison. Yeah, I agree.
Because she's leaning into a certain speech pattern and some physicality and stuff, which I just total respect or whatever.
Yeah.
But also Paula Pell.
God damn.
Paula Pell makes me fucking LOL. She makes me fucking LOL.
Paula Pell is so funny.
So fucking funny.
Just a masterclass of delivery.
Oh my God.
It works every time.
Every time.
She's hilarious.
She's so fun. I love the show so much. And I also love the sort of There is heart to it. Like a lot of time, like I don't watch a lot of comedy stuff, especially when it's joke.
Yeah.
I prefer my comedies to have heart. That's just where I land on the comedy spectrum.
Absolutely.
You know, like I loved Party Down. I loved episodes, even though you might argue that one didn't have heart, but it kind of did.
Yes,
it had morality, I guess, or it had like people struggling with whatever. Anyway, I loved Girls 5 Eva, and I'm recommending. Oh, and then the final thing I'm going to recommend, which is a different thing, which is the new album, the Marfa Tapes.
Oh man, it's really good.
I'm like blanking on her name.
Miranda Lambert.
Miranda Lambert.
Yeah.
Y'all. Okay, I was not a huge Miranda Lambert person. I loved her, I respected her, but I was not like listening to every single thing because she's very like pop country, like out there girl rock country. But then she did this acoustic album that just came out a week ago. Literally, we listened to it for the first time when we ended the recording of last week's episode.
Yeah.
I think I've listened to the Marfa tapes, like 5 times a day, every day?
You listen to it a lot, yeah.
I've listened to it a lot.
Look, it's a great album. It's very... it's
stripped down.
It's stripped down. It's very intimate, and it's it does evoke a certain feeling, a certain intimate feeling. It's really wonderful. I like it a lot too.
I loved it. So check out the Marfa tapes. It's Miranda Lambert and Jack. I can't remember.
I don't remember
the
names.
Guys.
It was other guys I was not familiar with. Yeah, but it's
like
terrific.
her friends and songwriters.
Yeah.
They all 3 of them wrote, I think, all of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
So if you like acoustic stuff.
I endorse all 3 of your recommendations, so I don't have any.
What? You don't have any?
I can't think of anything personally. I mean, you did 3. Like I stand.
We did watch Avalon this week, which we didn't mention.
Oh man, the movie Avalon
with Barry Levinson
directed it. Came out in 1990. It's so good.
It's so good. It holds up.
It absolutely holds up. So yeah, check that out.
And
all right.
You know I love Sam Levinson, his son. I feel like
of course you do.
There's just okay, Paul's nodding at me. We'll get, you know what? We'll get into Avalon. We should get into Avalon on the next one.
We should watch the next 2. We should watch Tin Men and Diner.
Diner.
Because now we're watching in the chronological order.
I've never seen Tin Man.
Tin Men. There's more than one man.
I've never seen 10 Men. 10 Men.
I've never seen 10 Men.
I've never seen 10 Men, but I saw Diner for sure.
Yeah.
And like Paul Reiser. Oh my God, Paul Reiser. Make you work?
Yeah, everybody's great in it. Okay. We are at stayfhomekins on Twitter and Instagram, stayfhomekins@gmail.com if you want to write to us. We will be back next week. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay strong.
Strong, baby. Strong.